Hey, what's up everybody? It's Space Guy. Just a quick FYI before we get into it. I'm really tired at the moment of recording this and I keep yawning like every 5 fucking seconds. So you might be hearing a lot of jump cuts in the audio. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to make a video talking about Halo Infinite in its current state and why it's such a shit show, for lack of a better word. So Halo Infinite came out back in November of 2021 or so, and upon initial release, it was fun. I was playing it a good bit. I was playing multiplayer a lot. I was grinding ranked a lot. I got up to Diamond 4 or so in ranked. And yeah, I was having a good time. But after a few months, I lost hope for the game to the point that I just uninstalled the shit. I don't care anymore. And that's kind of depressing considering I was one of the few people who did hold out some hope for 343 Industries. You know, I did play Halo 5 a lot and I actually really enjoyed it as well. 343, you guys need to get it together. I don't know what the fuck you're doing with Halo Infinite, but it's bad. It's weird because Halo Infinite's supposed to be a live service game, but there's no live service here. Updates have been really slow. All they've really added in the past 6 months are a couple of limited time events that are fun for like a day or two, and 2
brand new game modes. Whoa, we added SWAT and Fiesta to the game. You know, that thing that the game should have fucking shipped with, like every other Halo.
And that's about it update-wise. So, when the game came out, it had a ton of players. I think it broke Steam records. It had like 200,000 plus people playing at the same time, which is insane. But it fell off pretty quickly. Steam charts show only a few thousand players are still playing the game every day, which is a huge fucking drop off from how many people were playing. Microsoft Store shows on Xbox that Halo is the 15th most played game, which sounds pretty good, but then you see the games it's being outdone by. It's being done in by shitty games like Madden 22 and NBA 2K 2022, and even Rainbow Six Siege, a game that came out like, what, 6-7 years ago? I think one of the biggest problems this game is suffering from is a lack of communication from the developers. Since the games came out, they've done a few blog posts. There's really nothing of substance in these. Instead of telling us what they're trying to add and what they're doing, they just give you a detailed explanation of something, and that's it. They made a big blog post addressing server issues like terrible desync and stuff, and they didn't really give a time frame as to when it was going to get fixed or anything. A literal in-depth technical explanation of what desync is and how they deal with it. It's almost like they were just giving you a lesson, like you were in some college course for game development or something. It doesn't make any sense. It's like they just keep making excuses in these blog posts, and the excuses are, well, they're inexcusable. We don't care how you guys are dealing with server desync or what server desync is. We care that you fix it. Every other game that's been coming out that's multiplayer for the past 20 years has had next to no issue with desync, at least not nearly as bad as Halo Infinite. You go look on Reddit, clips of people experiencing desync are insane. Like dudes getting 7+ bursts on some guy with a burst rifle or a battle rifle, and it doesn't register any of the shots, even though every single shot landed. Melee hits not registering, getting shot around corners, a bunch of crazy shit. And besides the server issues, which they said they addressed with like a little patch into the game, which didn't do anything, by the way, there's still terrible desync. They haven't addressed any of the general game issues or done anything about the general game. They haven't even done any balance changes since the games came out. The Ravager is still a useless gun. The Pulse Carbine, I think it's called, is still pretty bad. But the Ravager especially is horrible. Not only that though, but there's plenty of other issues with guns like the Commando, the Energy Sword, the Shotgun. There's a bunch of crap. Just issues in the basic department that haven't even been touched. I think one of the biggest issues with Halo Infinite is Microsoft or 343. Rather than having actual dedicated game developers at the company, they depended on contractors that were temporary to develop Halo Infinite. That kind of explains why the game's such a boggled mess. You're getting a lot of people who are only staying around for a limited amount of time, coming into your game and making new systems and stuff, and then they're walking out the door, and then the next guy comes in and sees this shit and has to figure out what it is or what's going on or how to fix it, how to utilize it. etc. Not only that, but it's been developing recently in the past month or so. The website Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a website for people to review their employers anonymously, whether it be positive or negative. And looking at the Glassdoor page for 343, there's a lot of negatives here. FYI, don't even bother trying to use Glassdoor to look at this shit. You have to do like a Tomb Raider puzzle just to view the website. The second you open it, it demands you like sign up and then fill in a bunch of your personal information, like your work salary, your work title, and a bunch of other shit. So don't even bother looking at the site. It's worth noting anyone can leave a review on Glassdoor. However, it's pretty unlikely that there's just a mass raid of angry fanboys bombarding the site with lies to make 343 look bad. A lot of the negative reviews are pretty in-depth, so I have a pretty good feeling that these reviews aren't just a crock of shit. Maybe some of them are, but I don't think it's all of them are just flat out lies. But yeah, I thought I'd just put that out there. There's no way to verify these or anything. Multiple reviews reveal that management is terrible at 343. A lot of those people have been in management for years. They've been responsible or partially responsible for a lot of 343's shortcomings with Halo 5 and Halo 4, and a lot of bad working hours, a lot of non-mandatory overtime and crunches. Some reviews revealed that there were people working there simply because they're working on a Halo game, so it looks good on their resume. They're not really working because they care about the game. They're working for the game's namesake, its reputation. It makes them look good that they worked on it. Like, these aren't really people who actually have a passion for what they're working on. They're just working on it just to work on it. Some of the reviews say even the site they're working on in general sucks. Like, people were saying the general building layout is not very good at 343. There's so little bathrooms that people were having to go to neighboring buildings just to use the bathroom because the ones that they did have are occupied. Also, to add on top of all this crap, the lead multiplayer designer for Halo Infinite has left the studio. It has not been officially revealed as to why he left, but it would not surprise me if Halo Infinite's launch and the backfire are to blame, at least to some degree. So who knows what this means for the game's near future. I wouldn't be surprised if content drip feeds even slower now. And that's another thing too I forgot to touch on. They're drip feeding content into the game like it's a mobile game. There have been armor sets and stuff that were found in the files, data mined in the files of the game months ago, and they're just now releasing them. It's like they want the game to fucking fail. Why aren't you just putting this stuff into the game? I don't understand it. So yeah, 343 really needs to step up and do something about Halo Infinite. They need to really sit down and communicate what's going on at 343 Industries and why stuff is getting released so slowly. They need to take in more feedback from the community. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the closed flight of the game before it even launched that people were giving feedback on, and they just launched it and didn't implement anything anyone gave feedback on. And if their work environment is as bad as people are saying, they need to, you know, step up and do something about that. They need to make 343 Industries a place that people actually want to work at. Because if the work environment's bad, the games are going to be bad too. All we really can do is wait for Season 2 and hope 343 picks up the pace here. Season 2 is supposed to bring some new maps, a new pass, and hopefully will address some of the major game flaws. Who knows? Only time will tell. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and see ya.